Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. I'm Peter Gros, co-host of the original Wild Kingdom with Marlon Perkins and Jim Fowler. Most of us have seen movies or television shows where sharks have been portrayed as marauders who prey on unsuspecting swimmers or smaller fish in the sea. But many Wild Kingdom episodes illustrate how sharks and other predators are an important part of the food chain in our underwater world. Oceans cover 70% of our planet, yet we still have much to learn about this important ecosystem. Modern technology has enhanced our ability to study the oceans with minimal disruption to their habitat. Human involvement and recent legislation to protect underwater creatures allow for the resurgence of these many species. There's more good news to come in the Wild Kingdom, so sit back and enjoy Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom is presented by Mutual of Omaha.
Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. One of the world's most fearsome and fascinating predators is the great white shark, a constant threat to all divers who enter the sea. In a continuing effort to make it safer for divers, researchers are conducting various tests. For the very first time, a light but very strong armored diving suit will be tested to see if it is an effective defense against the white shark. Also being tested is a mobile cage like this as a possible answer to greater diver safety. The tests are being conducted off the South Australia city of Port Lincoln in the waters of Dangerous Reef, where white sharks are known to abound. The study is being done from aboard the research boat called the Nenad, now anchored over the reef. The anti-shark cage is being lowered to protect the divers. On hand to observe and participate in the hazardous study are Wild Kingdom reporters Peter Gros and Tom Allen.
The great white shark is among the largest and most powerful of the marine predators. Here in the waters near the Neptune Islands, great white sharks are known to gather to hunt their favorite food, sea lions.
While our crew prepares the equipment for today's experiments, Tom and I will make a dive to observe the local populations of Australian sea lions and fur seals.
All right, Peter, let's check the shallows for sea lions.
Sounds good, Tom. Let's do it.
Peter and I will not have far to go. We are diving into a slight drop-off near the shallows, and the safety cage will be lowered to the bottom for our protection from the white sharks. So we'll not stray far from it. Just ahead of us is a rarely seen species called a sea dragon. Part of the pipefish family, it's actually an oversized seahorse in medieval costume. Since they're so infrequently encountered, it's definitely worth a closer look. They're perfectly harmless, and being slow swimmers, stay near the underwater vegetation in the shallows for the protection it offers from predators. There's our first glimpse of an Australian fur seal, and where there's one, there's bound to be more. This time of year is when they go ashore to have their pups, and they tend to congregate here in the shallows in large numbers. This attracts sharks, and the seals become vulnerable to attack. The seals are well aware of this danger, and though they appear to be carefree and playful, they are usually sharply alert for their deadly enemies. With such an abundance of seals, we should have no difficulty in locating sharks. And as we head back toward the boat to begin our test, we find the Australian sea lions have also arrived. This species is unique in that it is white instead of dark like the others. and it is the most attractive and friendliest of all the sea lions, exhibiting no fear at Peter's approach. These coastal waters become more dangerous to the seals where it gets deeper, because this is where the sharks tend to search for prey. And so it's important too that we remain constantly alert. It's lucky we see this big great white shark first, because he's heading our way. Fortunately, the safety cage is nearby, and we're able to get inside before the shark can close the distance. With the door closed and secured, we should be safe inside the cage. He's coming after us through the open top gate, which he accidentally closes. What a lucky break. If he returns, we'll make an effort to attach an identifying red tag to the shark, which, if recovered, will tell us more about the range of the great white shark. The tag is attached to a barbed point, and its number is carefully recorded. Peter is dressed in yellow, a color that attracts sharks to bite.
Because of my suit's color, I'll stay in the cage to hold the shark's attention, while Tom goes outside to stick the barbed tag into its belly as it passes. It's a miss, but the shark should circle and come back to make another pass, still attracted by the yellow color of this cage and my suit. By then, Tom will be ready to try again. Success, and the shark doesn't even act as if he felt it.
This experiment is over. The yellow of Peter's suit has done the job. Now, we'll continue observing the shark's aggressiveness toward the yellow color of our cage until he tires and swims off.
Aboard the Nenad, the scientists are now ready to test the newest device developed to protect divers. Tom Allen and Peter Gros are all set to begin.
The shark cage has been lowered, and the bait has been placed in the water, so any white sharks in the immediate area should be attracted to our boat.
Our crew will also be lowering this small mobile shark cage. I will use it to search for sharks and to explore the deeper waters in the vicinity of the main shark cage.
Shall we get in the cage, Tom?
You bet. The shark cage on this dive has been held for us just below the surface so we can enter it without danger of attack, since we know there's at least one large great white in the area. Now the crew of the Nenad can lower us safely to the bottom. In moments, the experimental mobile cage comes down 40 feet away from us. It is attached to the surface boat with hoses providing hydraulic power and a continuous supply of fresh air, which means the scuba gear won't be necessary and can be left here. While Peter stays here, a final deep breath will suffice to let me free swim to the mobile cage. The hydraulic system from the boat above pumps a fluid through a hose and spins the prop, which in turn pulls the cage through the water. The cage travels smoothly with direction and level controlled by the angle at which the prop is positioned by hand. This means that the user is not tied to one location, as in the main shark cage, but can move about in apparent safety and stop wherever desired. It was designed for abalone fishermen, but may have other benefits, such as observing marine life. When leaving the cage to look for abalone, it's necessary to check in all directions for sharks. The air hose extension lets the diver move a short distance away to collect the abalone shellfish from the bottom. Separated from its protective shell, the meat of the abalone has high commercial value. In addition, it is a very favored food of a great many species of predatory fish. This big grouper is no exception. Now for the real test. A great white is coming in, which means get back inside the cage. The shark has moved closer to the surface. Now we'll move up to the shark and see how well this mobile cage functions, and how safe it is for the diver when there's real danger present. Conduct the test at the surface as close above the big safety cage as possible in case any problems develop.
From here, it seems the shark is in good position for the tests and is enormous compared to the mobile cage in which Tom is suspended. The shark is about 18 feet long and is making a very close first pass. The shark's next pass will be an attack, and so Tom will shoot a chemical repellent called SDS from that rod to test its effect on a great white. The shark doesn't seem to like the cloud of repellent when it's this highly concentrated. But the big cloud is thinning much too rapidly, and the shark is coming in again.
Trouble. He's punctured the line. I can hardly get any air. And now, he's coming back. He severed the tether and the air line and damaged the hydraulic line. The cage won't function. It's falling to the bottom.
Tom can't get any more air to breathe from the line. With the shark that close, he doesn't dare try to free swim to the main cage. must get air. Tom needs air desperately, but there is none. He's got to make his move now or never. It. That was much too close for comfort. The shark was closing in.
Good thing Peter was here. It proves the value of the buddy system. The shark is leaving, so we'll give the signal to be pulled up. It'll take a lot more perfecting before a mobile cage is developed that keeps a diver fully safe from attack by the great white shark.
The researchers aboard the Nenad have decided that the mobile shark cage has the drawback of having to be tethered to the ship. The next experiment to be conducted is designed to allow both protection and freedom of movement.
In the past, only shark cages have provided adequate protection for divers against the great white shark. But today, Jeremiah Sullivan is testing a new material for a prototype anti-shark suit, which may withstand an attack from a great white.
It is constructed with super strong Kevlar and will be extremely difficult to crush or bite through. Additionally, its rigidity should discourage a full force bite from any shark species, including the great white.
Jeremiah and I will make a dive to conduct this experiment while Peter stands by to give surface support. Jeremiah, let's make the dive.
This yellow anti-shark suit is being tested for the very first time with the great white shark in actual attack conditions. Both Jeremiah and Tom Allen will need to be extremely careful. The Kevlar armor-clad dummy will be rigged to tempt a shark into biting it. Right now, animal blood tossed into the water will quickly attract any nearby shark. The safety cage will be held right at the surface for this test, but the divers will be underwater to observe and record the action when the shark attacks the dummy.
We're interested in getting a great white to strike at the dummy's legs, since in most shark bite cases, the victim's legs are struck first. Tethered by a cable to the cage, the dummy is now ready to be floated in the open water. To encourage shark attack, Jeremiah attaches a chunk of fish to the dummy as bait.
Now the dummy can be released to float at the surface, resembling a diver at rest. Another part of this test involves the use of a dead tuna rigged with a balloon, so that it will be suspended in the water just below the surface. Tom sights our first customer, but the shark ignores the bait and instead attacks our yellow cage. If he circles back and goes for the bait, Tom will film it with his slow-motion camera. Here comes the first bite, and it's easy enough to see that it's more of a grip and hold than a hard, savage bite. But now he knows it's safe to bite harder, to kill and devour. He's turned back again for a try at the dummy. That's just what we wanted to happen. We'll record the action in slow motion. Here comes the bite. While the mouth opens hugely to take in the dummy's legs, the actual biting is surprisingly gentle because he has already felt the hardness of the Kevlar armor. Instead of following up quickly with a killing bite, as he did with the tuna, he continues to merely grip the dummy while he decides whether or not he can bite harder.
That was good action, exemplifying exactly what Jeremiah theorized. It's obvious the shark has decided not to bite the dummy any harder than he already has. Now, Jeremiah can pull the dummy back in and check to see what kind of damage it suffered. Though no longer interested in the dummy, the shark is still riled by our movements inside the protective cage. He really wants to get at us, but he's finally realized the metal is very hard and he seems to be giving up. And, as Jeremiah predicted, he paid no further attention to the Kevlar-clad dummy. When we're finally able to get the dummy back to the cage and closely inspect the teeth marks, we find the armor is only faintly scratched, which means that a diver wearing such material could probably survive an attack by a great white shark. Kevlar armor for diving suits may not be the final answer, but from all indications, it may be the first ray of hope for those who must dive in waters that are prowled by the great white sharks.
For some people involved in marine work or research, it's necessary to dive beneath the surface of the sea where sharks are abundant. So finding ways to protect divers from being attacked by sharks is very important. As a result, new devices such as the mobile shark cage and the Kevlar armored suit are always being tested. Not all the answers are in yet, but dedicated researchers are helping to make the ocean safer for those who must dive into the beautiful but often hazardous underwater portion of the Wild Kingdom.
Mutual of Omaha has presented Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Like what you saw? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for more exclusive content. And visit our website at wildkingdom.com.